Hello everybody and just here and welcome back to Konosuke wa Fukanzen Sugiru, episode 12, the penultimate one, in which I guess we will learn some more about Alba, whatever you want to call him, and I don't know, honestly, we only have including this one, we only have like 2 more episodes, so not really enough time to introduce a whole new arc, right? Rather enough to maybe introduce like a task, a quest, right? Something like, I don't know, in today's episode, Alva tells them, go and kill a giant. And they go to kill a giant, and the battle is split. It concludes in the next episode, in the finale, with a grand finale of killing the giant, and that's where the season ends. Something like that is something that I can see, but other than that, I don't know. Maybe a big reveal that could also be a worthy ending, right? Maybe the reveal of what's the deal with them being stuck here, right? Maybe something like that would also make for a good finale to the season. I don't know. We'll see. I have no clue what's going to happen in this episode. I have no clue what's going to happen in the next one. So we're going to have to check that out, right? What happened in the previous one? Let's maybe start with that. Well, the previous episode started by... I was confused when did Gadel die. Was it the previous episode or was it the one even before that? But no, I think it was the previous episode, right? The very beginning. Gadel started rampaging through the town and even went as far as trying to throw a big, huge boulder at a couple of kids. Where Haga thankfully prevented that, and Gadel kind of saw himself a little bit in that situation, right? With Yamanaka protecting him, right? This kind of an image, and he came back to his senses. His eyes turned back to normal, and he started talking, saying that, oh, it's just a bad dream. I had, the craziest dream. Like, no way any of that would have happened. Basically being in denial. And everything might have ended well for him, except for Akira, who just did a slash kill in the console to ensure that the danger is over, that Gadel is not gonna be an issue anymore, which not how I would have done it. Wait, that happened even before, hasn't it? I'm legitimately not sure anymore. Wait. Yeah, it did happen in a previous episode. It did. Yes, it did. Sorry, I really got confused there for a moment. And right, and they had a whole dialogue about we are just testers and they are just NPCs, right? We can't really be getting involved in their lives so much. Ultimately, they're just lines of code. Like, sure, they're convincing and likable and whatnot, but our real existing lives kind of take precedent, don't they? Assuming the NPCs did not magically come alive, like in Overlord or something. But I mean, it's a possibility for sure. But I'm honestly not sure. So yeah, that's basically the stance that Akira takes. If they're just NPCs slash killing one of them or 10 of them, that really doesn't make a difference. And if it can help me survive and perhaps log out of this fucking game, then sure. Like, needs must, right? I'm gonna do it, so whatever. Haga, of course, got very much involved into pretty much every NPC that he meets, every named NPC at least, right? And to him, killing Gadel was like killing a normal, regular person. There was no difference in his mind. And I still don't agree with Akira's methods. I still think that it would be better, like, if she was using the console anyway, just turn him back, right? just turn him back, or dial down his settings, or something like that. She didn't need to resort to killing, although for sure that was the most certain, most sure way of doing that, right? We know that the game is very poorly coded, so who knows what sort of side effects would there be to her editing his stats again. Like, presumably Yamanaka didn't edit him to get black eyes and enter a rage, and yet he did. So who's to say that Akira changing his stats in the other way would not introduce something else to him, right? So sure, it was the most safe way, probably not the most moral if we assume NPCs are people, right? But perfectly understandable. That wasn't the only problem that Haga had with it, right? Not just the moral issue, but also an issue of safety, because using the console command is dangerous, and Akira just did that. And sure, like, the outcome was good, right? But who knows what it could have been. Haga's peers used console commands many times before they all got stuck or disappeared, and eventually they did get stuck or disappeared, right? People from Shacho's team were using a lot of console commands, and eventually they all got frozen, and Sumida is forever falling through the void, right? There are repercussions, and they are quite unpredictable. So, of course, it's an issue, and Haga is correct there. In any case, we kind of moved from there because also a raid of giants arrived to the village, so we had to run. And in the end, the entire village just burned to a crisp. All the villagers dead, and just kind of a very ending on a very sad and low note, but also on a note of, I don't know. I don't even know how to name it, but it was interesting that it was a thing that they just did not get involved in. They did not make a heroic stand trying to protect the village from giants, right? They did not try, I don't know, closing the passage with boulders. They did not try moving the villagers forcibly, because we know that they're not gonna leave on their own volition, right? They didn't try anything like that. They just run. So that was very interesting and very, like, real, you could say, right? There are many situations where we ourselves don't really get involved. We just be like, keep it besides me. I really don't want anything to do with it. And that was a great example of that. In any case, that was done. Nikola, unfortunately, was still unconscious, but Akira told us that she knows a very good priest, the leader of her party, or she mentioned someone else, or she mentioned Alba. I'm not sure who she mentioned. I don't fully remember, but she mentioned that in her team's hideout there is someone who can save Nikola, and so they decided to go there. So we got a month of a time skip, during which they've been traveling and debugging, and the travel would have been much shorter if not for Haga and debugging everything. Nikola thankfully was still eating during her coma, sleep, paralysis. I don't know what it was exactly, but it allowed them to go straight for a month. They arrived to the stronghold where Akira's team resides. Stronghold surrounded by a huge army, apparently some sort of an event or a quest or something, and the entire army was very easily squashed with a spell squash, which is just a big hand arriving from the sky and squashing the armies with a thumb, and only like super high level priests, I believe, can use that spell. So that was something. They did get inside and were welcomed by one Akane Miyazaki, a woman of the same race that Izora, that Amano is, except she looks more rabbit-like, while Amano looks more dog-like, but apparently they are both cat people, if I'm not mistaken, and sure enough, Akane ends all of her sentences with nya. whether it's a quirk of her race in the game, or is it just her consciously doing that? I don't know, but that's what she does. We also meet Ren Mizoguchi, with whom Akira shares a very sensual and fully animated, wet and sloppy kiss. So that's something. We are still at the same time left unsure as to what the relationship is exactly. That's interesting here because we later hear that it's just like one of the methods that they found to like keep their sanity, right? Give ourselves a spike of whatchamacallit, not serotonin, right? That's the hormone of happiness, I think, maybe. Yeah, give ourselves a shot of the happy hormones by getting massages, taking hot baths, hugging, kissing, stuff like that. So we don't know if it was just stress relief or is there actually something between them. Right. We were invited there. It turns out that they are good people after all. I had my suspicions, but yeah, they turned out to actually be good folk. They heard about our issues. They went through some of Haga's findings together as well, right? They had a jolly good time in general. They got to leave their earthly woes to the god of something with some sort of a magic ritual that Ren conducted. And then Amano and Haga got to take a bath. They went to the bath, they were relaxing, and that's when Akane and Akira arrived. Very nice bit of fan service, of course. Damn clouds. But I guess the game itself probably censors that. Although someone, I can't remember if it was in the comments to the video or was it on Reddit or somewhere else, someone said that it actually would have been nicer if the censorship was more like game-like, right? Like black bars from The Sims maybe, or like pixelation from... No, The Sims have pixelation, I think. Black bars is something else. I'm not sure. Right, instead of clouds of steam. But, I mean, clouds of steam also work and they are a staple of Japanese media. So if we assume the game is made by a Japanese company, I can absolutely see clouds of steam serving as censorship. So that was something. And then they went to help Nikola to meet with their, the king, quote unquote, arrived first, walking on water like the Jesus, and asked them what their problem is. So they went to the king's throne room, I believe. They said what the problem is, that here we have Nikola, she's unconscious, we heard you can do something about that. And he reluctantly did. He checked her first, was shocked by something, and eventually still decided to wake her up and got promptly smacked in the head by his bigger sister, Tesla. Apparently Alba, which you guys again pointed out in the comments, correctly so, Thomas Alva Edison, right? V and B in Japanese are the same sound more or less. So Thomas Alva Edison, Nikola Tesla. I wonder if the person that Alba inhabits is named Thomas or Edison. And I wonder if the other AIs are also named after like famous, not electricians. That's not the correct word to use for Edison and Tesla. Physicists, I guess, dealing with electricity, or maybe physicists in general. Maybe we're gonna have a Einstein inhabiting the body of Albert or something like that. We don't know that, but it's gonna be interesting seeing that. Right, Alba is apparently one of the world AIs. That's why he's able to use the squash. That's why he's able to wake Nikola without much of an issue. And that's basically where we end, right? Nikola Tesla asks a question to Alba, like, what the fuck are you doing here? Right? Why are you playing the king? What's your goal? What's going on here? and we hear about the other AIs, and that's basically where the episode ends. So today's episode, I can see starting that in the middle of that conversation, we maybe are gonna learn more about the AIs. We might learn more about Alba's goals. What else are we gonna learn? What else are we gonna do? I don't know, anybody's guess. We only have 2 episodes, mind, so that's actually not much of an indicator, though, is it? This show does some interesting stuff with pacing, right? Like, Gadel's entire arc was cut short, but at the same time it made sense, right? And then we immediately got a month time skip, right? So it's not certain that the remaining 2 episodes are not actually gonna cover the fight with a dragon or whatever, right? We'll see, of course. We'll see in this episode. Yeah, it's zeroed out. It's zeroed out. So, as always, you're gonna need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 12, the penultimate one of Konosekai wa Fukanzen Sugiru QA Sekai in 3, 2, 1, go. Volume. Yeah. Okay, now we're safe. Right, Principality of Sai. I mean, presumably Nikola awoke as well. Although we don't really know that. It could very well be that Nikola's consciousness is still asleep. Oh, we're right back in medias res. Okay. I mean, they are doing a good job, so... Apparently she does. At least enough to hit you. Can AIs get tired? That's news to me. Out of curiosity, while we're watching the opening, I'm gonna check for possible sequels. Nope. Nothing on that topic, alas. Speaking of sequels, next week, maybe, or the week after, we're gonna have a seasonal stream, as we do every season, and I'm gonna be taking a look at what's coming out next season of anime. I already know that I'm gonna be watching Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, that's coming out, and it's a must. If you like a game-based anime and you haven't seen Shangri-La Frontier, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. Go and watch it. It's fucking amazing. I really would put it on the pedestal together with, like, Season 1 of Log Horizon. Kinda hard to put it on a pedestal with Overlord, because Overlord was kinda uneven. But I really like Overlord, and I'd say that Shangri-La can join the likes of those on the pedestal. No, but legit, one of the best game-based anime that I've seen ever. Okay. Right, time to explain all of that to Akira. Yes, he should have. Right? Gotta study the bugs. And gotta fill the reports, of course. Not a moment wasted. Oh? Okay, so she's still there. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, the AI itself took damage. That's interesting that it's been even like programmed. And you spotted something in that void. Is that it? Yeah, probably. No, it's kind of got like everything to do with them. You AIs are, for the lack of a better term, the like soul of the world. Presumably, if AIs die, whatever it means, that spells disaster for the world itself. Well, I don't like that. Yeah. They're just a bunch of goofballs walking around the world fixing bugs. Well, reporting bugs. Exactly. Also, Tesla is with them for a reason, right? Oh? Right, he's getting way too involved into this world. Okay, I mean, that much should be fine. Mm-hmm. Watch Alba disappear the next day because he got fixed. Sure. I thought she's gonna pull out some booze, but apparently it's just fruit milk. Well, she's gonna walk in on Haga and notice that he's writing a report on Alba, and that's gonna cause issues. Yep, she's absolutely gonna see the report. Oh? Right, I mean, it would make sense that he can perceive things in his domain. And someone's gonna stop him? Akira? Or Alba himself? Zawardo! Oh no, just a teleportation into the dungeon? A dungeon? Yeah. Teleportation into a dungeon. Immediately taking stock of his possessions. Okay, so the whistle is gonna come in clutch, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Some stone statue. Can't really send it there without a tablet. Right, okay. I thought he's gonna come to the same conclusion I did. Well, The same conclusion that we were shown, that it was Alba who sent him. Good question. Does it work with, like, game code, in that she gets a notification that someone blew into the whistle? Or does it work on, like, physics, where sound spreads sound waves, right? I wonder if Akira gonna think the same thing. So they are shady after all, in, like, their own way. Yep. Very shady. Well, they also got teleported? At least they have a stockpile of fruit milk. Yeah, good assumption. Good assumption. Yep. A seed of doubt, perchance. A seed of doubt indeed. Yet. Okay, getting a random piggyback. uh, yeah, true. They might be girls, you know, guy in real life. That's an acronym. Who are you? Duca. Not here. My cat's hair is everywhere. I'm gonna have to deal with that. Trying to, what, glitch through a wall? Or just debugging? Yeah, could maybe glitch through a wall. What, you know, some bug? Like, which Bethesda game was it? Was it Fallout 4 that allowed you to use a cone? I think like a traffic cone to phase through walls? Yeah. Uh, yeah, you're probably fairly deep underground. Good idea. Or just a, you know, sizable stick or something that could substitute a weapon. My webcam was blinking. Library. Yeah, just don't burn it. We've seen it in the opening, right? With this like thingamagic crystal thing that the title of the episode was Diamond. He's gonna find that thing, whatever that is, right? Oh. We know where the development time went. What, looking for typos? Yeah, and I already see broken characters. Damn. Just write a report about books in general. They're gonna figure out which ones are problematic. The best way to stop Haga, like, you don't even need to lock him up. Just give him things to debug. He's gonna completely forego trying to escape and he's gonna just focus on debugging. Okay. Weapon procured. That's the diamond. I wonder what is it. It looks like a power up from a platformer or a collectathon. Or it's a character without a mesh? Biblically accurate NPC. Oh. Is it her avatar or did it glitch out? Was she trying to enter character creator with the console and it just completely fucked her up? Thank you for your astute observation. They're not mapping. Oh, they've been days here. Yeah. And a mimic. Or some other trap. Oh, a casino. Well, that's unexpected. Although knowing this game, it's like perfectly expected, actually. Identical NPCs, by the way. Dealers by the tables. Oh, and it fucked up your model. I mean, it was modeled because it was shown to her. Unless they're doing like the stupid thing and they do like use different models for wares and different models for the things that characters can actually equip. Yeah, so I guess everybody who gave up the name, right? Yeah, so many bugged books to the bag. Oh? Do you know the layout perchance? That's a lot of floors. Damn. I guess we know where else the development time went. The entirety of season 2 is just gonna be climbing back up. Yeah, I mean, you gotta provide the crowd somehow. Ah, perfect voice lines. Yeah. Either one of the earliest areas or one of the unfinished ones. Yeah, he rubs off on people. Gambling. What else? That's gonna be useful. Oh, is that how Akira gets her new sword? Yeah. Oh, there's a way to win, guaranteed. Of course. Of course. Also predictable. What? Indentured servitude? Oh, well, that's quite a bit worse. Can't they even harvest those organs? Okay, well, you need those to live. So, right, but she essentially just gave up her everything except seemingly her small intestine and, what would that be? Spleen? I don't know. Right, can't leave though. It's an NPC, basically elaborate door. You're not gonna be able to do much. Exactly. And now neither Akira nor Amano can leave. Well, I guess gotta gamble the money back. Hmm. It doesn't have like a infinite supply of things. Also interesting that they need to eat and drink, even in game. And why would that be? Monsters? Hmm. All of them defeated. Boss chamber? Or just unmodeled. Oh no, a boss. A goat man thing. Okay, we got our next episode. We're gonna fight the goat. Sure. This was a fun episode. I really enjoyed this one. It was like a vertical slice of this anime, right? We got some glitching, some debugging, some drama, some mystery, some adventure, right? We got like a little bit of everything, like a nice little tasting platter, right? I hope the Diamond Girl joins us. I'd much rather prefer that over her staying here. Say she tries. Maybe she did try to report Alba. That's where she got teleported down. Probably exactly what happened. Actually, I'm gonna note it down. Nothing after credits. There we go. QA Sekai. What even is her name? R something, right? It started with R. In any case, let's watch this episode again, shall we? And I'm just gonna say Diamond Girl. Diamond Girl got TP'd down because she tried to report Alba. Yeah, probably that. Recap. Cool that straight from the recap we go like straight into action. That's cool. Usually you see a recap, then you see maybe like a title card, or you see the opening, and then we get back into action. There was... What was that anime? I can't remember actually. Was it not Shangri-La Frontier? That starts with that pretty much always started with a recap and then completely smoothly with like no transitions or anything transferred into the episode in a way where if you would stitch the episodes back to back you would have one like continuous, what would that be, a lot of hour long movie. That was cool. I think it was Shafla. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but there was one anime that where I actually paid attention, like not paid attention. I mean, I did pay attention to that, but I noticed, talked about, I guess, the thing they do with the recap straight into action. Regardless, what are you planning? Very good question, actually. We know that. I mean, we don't actually know much about the AIs, do we? We thought we do, right? We thought we do know about AIs because of Tesla, because Tesla is the AI who controls the region, and she wants to end the evil debuggers, and that's pretty much the entirety of her agenda, right? Simple. She's the AI. She controls the game. Something fucks with the game. She's here to fix it. She can't do it herself, because the regional AI or meta AI, right, can't interact directly with the world, so she needs her champions, so to speak, and one such champion is Haga. Doesn't quite work that way with Alba, though. Yeah. We're even sending people like Akira around the world to deal with the bad debuggers. Why aren't you going yourselves, though? Right? Like, okay, sure, you're sending people to deal with bad debuggers. Why are you not dealing with bad debuggers? You seem to be leading like a very, nice and very free life where you drink fruit milk and watch people get squashed and do whatever else for entertainment, and you are not putting yourself in danger like Akira does. I wonder if they're motivated more by the fear of losing their cozy like lives, not in the sense of dying, but in the sense of having to go out there and do things and losing the protection of essentially a god entity, rather than driven by actual whatever else it is they might be driven by. Can't you come to accept our way of life? You can do things your way, but you don't have any authority here, right? True to an extent, yeah. I wonder how is Alba able to like interact with this world. We know that meta AIs like Tesla just can't do that, but Alba can. I wonder if the body he inhabits is the body of like a high priest or something. Probably. He took over some sort of a high priest. That's why he has the abilities of a high priest. Yeah? Where was the diamond in the dungeon? Yeah, it was somewhere. Regardless. There's meta AI. Yeah, finally Akira gets her explanation. About time. Interesting that... yeah, I'm going to do the same. I didn't expect that I would personally take damage while inside an NPC vessel. It really is unexpected, isn't it? Because, like, what is damage in a game? Damage in a game, or life points or whatever, is a property on the generally entity object, right? Entity object has a property health of type integer or float or any other numeric type. If someone deals damage to that entity, that number goes down, right? That's damage in a game. It can be handled with composition, with some I don't know, health component being attached to actors. It can be handled with inheritance, as I said, entity and player and enemy both inherit from entity, any which way, but it's just a variable number. That's it. So how can an AI take damage? How's that possible? Right? One possibility I can find is they are using inheritance and they have that base class of entity that has health and has a bunch of other functions like, I don't know, communication with the world or speaking or walking or seeing or things like that. And they have players derived from entity and enemies derived from entity so that they share the same functionality and then build on top of that. Maybe their meta AIs also derive from entity, but because they are supposed to just live on a like meta level, they thought like it's whatever, it doesn't matter that they have a health bar, right? We're just gonna set the health bar to like 9999 and be done with it, call it a day, right? No, nothing's gonna like happen to that. Nobody's gonna be able to hurt that AI, so whatever, doesn't matter. Little did they know though. Could be that. Or could be that we are looking at some sort of, I don't know, meta level where the programming of a character in the game is akin to their soul or something, and when they get damage, their programming, their code also gets scrambled for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. But it's interesting that an AI, something immaterial, something entirely like conceptual really, was damaged by a hit from Gadel. I was in a dark place. I thought she maybe noticed something in the dark place, like maybe some existence or a light in the tunnel or something. But no, it's got nothing to do with you players, you don't need to report it. Right. You don't need to report it. I'd say you do need to report it because an AI should not be damaged. But chances are that other behaviors of Tesla are also erratic. Right? The fact that she does get involved with the debuggers, the fact that she devised the whole plan of getting the tablets and eating them, could be the AI behaving in erratic ways. The fact that she inhabits an NPC, it's not something that a meta AI of this kind should be able to do. So there is a risk that all of that gets fixed if Haga reports any sort of irregularity with Tesla. But Tesla is on our side, so we're not gonna report her, of course. Right, but we gotta report Alba. Our loyalty remains unchanged. If you desire it, we can eliminate them. Yeah, very much shady. Not going to pick a fight with Tesla for no reason, and yet you did. By hiding away, teleporting away her compatriots, her, I don't want to say tools, but her paragons, essentially her champions, her like hands in this world, so to speak. His operational methods leave something to be desired. Yeah, as Tesla said to us early on, AIs are not supposed to interact. They like can't even interact. She can't just freeze the offending players and take these stones from them. That's why she needs Haga. And yet here we have a meta AI playing a ruler, a leader, having audiences, having people like swear allegiance to him, pledge loyalty. That's not how an AI should be behaving, right? Alba should be concerned with the same thing that Tesla is concerned with. There are rough debuggers running out there causing issues, and he is, right, because they are sending people to deal with those rogue debuggers, sure, but Tesla isn't being like extra about it. She just appears whenever necessary, whenever she needs to eat a tablet, whenever she needs to give some guidance to Haga. Alba seems he completely took over that NPC. It's not that he just pops in, it's the tablets that all the like scouts, so to speak, bring him, and then goes back into hibernation, and then wakes up and says, hey, yo, Ren, there's that group of like 5 debuggers, 15 clicks, west, southwest, go there and handle that, and then goes back to hibernation, gives the body back to the NPC. No, he completely took over. And that's erratic. Yeah. How could Ren say something about the guest I brought? Yeah, good question. The meta AI in charge of the Principality of Psi Alba seems to be aggressively interacting with players. He appears to be taking a leadership role outside of the scope of any debugging activities. Yes, actually. I'd like to confirm whether this behavior is intended. Now I just get teleported. So, like, from the very beginning, from the very get-go, they were fucked over by Ren. From the very get-go. And not just them, the outsiders, but also Akane. She didn't know what it means to burn her name in the goblet of fire. I don't think Diamond-chan knew either. Right? That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. I really like that Haga just immediately takes stock of what he has, figures out what he can do, right? I don't have a stone, I don't have a knife, I don't have a debugger stone, I have a whistle, I can make a torch, right? I have this, and that at my disposal, right? I like it. He's not, I don't know, panicking or trying to frantically look for a way or yelling, Akira, Amano-san, right? None of that. He calmly takes stock of what he has, of what his options are, where he is. I like it. I really like this quality in him. I was just about to report Alba, which means maybe. Yeah, let's not dwell on the maybes, right? So far, let's focus on getting out, of getting to safety. Then we're going to be able to dwell on the maybes. The whistle apparently reaches, which probably means it works on some like game level rather than just sound moving around. Yeah, Alba very much is an object of admiration. Question is how much of that is him having to do that because he inhabits the body of some sort of a priest king or whatever, and the priest king NPC suddenly disappearing from the region would not be a good thing, and how much of that is for his personal gratification. I tried to send that back report sooner than I thought. You offered up their names, so I was able to deal with this quickly. Right. Grasp allows continuous targeting of anyone who has offered up their name to be burned. This is the fucked up bit. Like, Ren just completely cheated them. He told them that he's doing one thing and he did another. Not just that, he did something that is a complete and utter invasion of their like privacy and like everything. Everything is wrong with what he did. I was correct in assuming he's a shady guy. Tessa remains asleep. She can't do anything on her own. Right. Akira and Akan offered up their names too, so they probably also got sent. Right. They probably did. Out of milk, out of snacks. Yeah, Akira knows something's up. She ain't stupid. Bits and pieces of comedy. She looks creepy. Mazuna, the capital, a fortress city in the middle of Malmuk Lake. The balance between the elementals collapsed and the lake dried. The balance between the elementals collapsed and the lake dried up, but the city's high walls still keep away invaders. Mardel, god of fire, destruction, and war. On Clayborne, where conflict is constant, he is the most worshipped of all the gods. High Priest of Mardel can use offensive magic, the likes of which rivals mages. I'm assuming Alba's body is a High Priest of Mardel. That's why he can use the squish. Strawberry milk, coffee milk, fruit milk. And something that looks like... not Turkish delight. Like halva? Or just cookies? 2 days later. Right, trying to glitch through. And able to do that with a flat item. I'm gonna really quickly Google if that's the thing. Fallout for cone glitch. Yeah, with the traffic cone, you can glitch out of Vault 111 without opening the door. I was correct. I remembered that right. Not fixed. You go back to basics, yeah. Gotta keep the map, of course. Gotta find a weapon. But instead, it's a library full of broken books. Full of flavor text, but all sorts of scuffed. If the first comrade disappears, it will cause great problems for the publication. One of the powder monkeys said to me that there's light on the other side. It's really poor quality. Probably machine translation. Yeah, probably machine translation. Characters are screwed up, apparently. I mean, I don't know Japanese. I can't really say anything about that. Full width double byte characters. That's how you usually encode Japanese text. That's why whenever you see like a screenshot from a Japanese PC showing English text, all the letters are so wide because it's double width, because it has to fit the Japanese characters in them, and they're not changing the width often. That's why, like, translated visual novels, when they are translated unofficially, they often have those like really wide characters, and it appears in many other cases as well because of that like double width and double byte standard ASCII table, which is like the basic Latin characters, is enclosed within a single byte. That's 255 characters. There is more characters in Japanese because you have hiragana, katakana, kanji, so it uses double bytes. That is 512. Yeah, 512. Regardless, details. Details. yeah, best way to just stop Haga in his tracks, give him something to debug. Initially, I thought that this diamond thing is gonna be some sort of a power-up. Like, maybe this game was supposed to be something else. Like, it was supposed to be a collectathon or a platformer or something, and then they decided to turn it into something else. Or they are working based on an engine that was used for a collectathon, and stuff from the previous games is still left in the game, like power-ups, for example, or like Goomba kind enemies you have to stomp, or like, right, stuff like that. And I thought maybe Haga is gonna pick it up and it's gonna give him whatever, I don't know, but I really thought it's gonna be some sort of a misplaced power-up. But apparently it's the equivalent of Source Engine's red 3D error text. Kinoshita, part-timer with Entermation. Is Kinoshita listed on the list of characters? Because I would like to check her VA. Well, she's not listed on any list. I'm gonna check on my anime list. Maybe she's gonna be listed there. Characters and stuff. Kinoshita, Control F. Mayu, Kinoshita Mayu, voiced by Aoi Koga, who also voiced, let's see, anybody I recognize? Benny from Shy. Who else do we have? I really don't like Mal's UI for characters. Someone in Kanojo mo Kanojo, Sensuality Noir, Cute Love in Mashal, Anjay in Princess Principal. Yeah, I can see that. I can see Kaguya in, yeah, actually, yeah, like drunk Kaguya, and her like cutesy voice, right? Yeah, it sounds like that. Okay, yeah, I can see that perfectly. And Komi Shoko from Komi-san wa Komyoshu desu. Yeah, and others. Plenty of roles. Okay, regardless. There we go. And she's from Entermation, apparently. She's a debugger. No monsters, but the map's complicated and full of dead ends. And one of the ends is apparently a casino. Because why not? Because of course, what lies on the 999th floor of a dungeon, or 1000th floor of a dungeon? A casino. What else? And yeah, exact same NPCs. This dude at the bottom here, and this dude, exact same poses, exact same characters. Cool bit. Lizard man, lizard woman, you wanted to say. Fluffy dragon equipment from a merchant, and that just destroyed her model and she can't take it off. Which is... hooey! I mean, I get how it would... what would cause it. If you didn't know that, very often in games when you get equipment like gloves or helmet or a breastplate or whatever, those bits of equipment aren't actually like applied on top of you. Rather, your character loses their fleshy hands. They disappear because they're a separate mesh, cut off at the wrist probably, which is why very often characters in games have some sort of bracelets to hide the seam. Those meshes of their hands disappear, and in their place is the mesh of a glove. For example, that's how you prevent clipping during animation, so that the flesh doesn't poke out of the glove. and the glove doesn't need to be like super thick to prevent that clipping, right? And same goes for all the other bits of the character. Like when you equip a new breastplate, then you lose your torso, for example. So I can see her getting a full body costume, essentially, the entirety of her mesh disappearing, her like original mesh, and then the game tries to apply the winged furry dragon suit or whatever, but it doesn't have a mesh associated with it, so it falls back on this diamond. Cool. Cool. I get how it works. Why can't she unequip it? Anybody's guess? Uh, I wouldn't put it past the programmers of this game and the team in this game in general to make the hitbox in the UI where you click on something to equip it or unequip it be equal to the mesh of that thing, but just scaled down. And because the thing doesn't have a mesh, you can't click it because it doesn't have a hitbox. I wouldn't put it past them that you have to like physically interact with your piece of equipment and then take it off. She doesn't have hands. Her equipment is invisible, non-existent. She can't grab it to unequip it. I can fully see that being the case. I can see her being unable to interact with her UI because she doesn't have hands. Any number of things. I don't usually carry my stern with me, and yeah, that was a big mistake. Suddenly got warped here. Very long ago, apparently, which really tells me that she was trying to report Alba and she got teleported here. Know a lot about the dungeon. Yeah, Alchemist's residence underneath Mazana Temple. 1,000 motherfucking floors. I mean, this world is expansive, if nothing else. I guess question is how many of those floors are just copy-pasted. Or just completely unfinished. Because there's quality and there's quantity, right? On one hand, you have, I don't know, Witcher 3, with every location being more or less handcrafted and unique and whatnot. On the other hand, you have any given Ubisoft game that has just copy-pasted towers and enemy encampments, right? I was alone for so long. Diamond of Diamond. Yeah, the NPCs kind of seem unfinished. Like, on one hand, you have NPCs that can fully emote and communicate and talk, like Gadel, like Nikola, like Rue, like just any number of NPCs, and on the other, you have those with just completely stilted answers. Drinking, smoking a cigar, surrendering her her organs. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, everything except small intestine, large intestine, and I think that's spleen. I'm not sure. She surrendered. She gave up her liver, pancreas, gallbladder, both kidneys, so it can't be any of those. And the other, like, giblet that I know by name would be what did I say? What did I call it? I forgot. Whatever. It's something. Yeah, can't leave and can't defeat the bouncer because the bouncer is essentially an elaborate door you can't really go past. Like, they at least thought that far because nothing would be stopping players from getting in, raiding the casino, killing the bouncer, getting out, right? Easy way to earn money. So the bouncer is invincible and they have to win the money back. And I assume that's also how they win a new sword for Akira. Which means that some of the shots we see in the opening, I mean, maybe not necessarily from the second season, because maybe even in the next episode they're gonna meet up with Haga and they're gonna fight the boss together, so she's already gonna have her new sword. Maybe. Alchemist's Lab. I would have been dead ages ago if I hadn't found this place. See, that's another fucked up thing about what Alba and Ren are doing. Right? Like, you can say it's, the lesser evil. They didn't kill them, they just sent them to the dungeon. To starve. To die of dehydration. To die to monsters. To go insane. Is it really that much better than just sneaking into the room at night with a dagger and slitting their throats? Debatable, really, but I guess it absolves them of the feeling of guilt, right? Like, well, I didn't kill him, it was the monsters who did that. It was the starvation, it was the thirst. I had no hand at it. I wanted him to survive, that's why I sent him to the dungeon instead of killing him, right? Fucked up what Ren and Alba did. First of all, getting their names in the Goblet of Fire and being able to spy on them from anywhere through that's fucked up already. And then sending them to a dungeon to potentially starve? Even more fucked up. Yeah, gotta make potions, gotta do the bugging, and can't exactly leave. At least there are some weapons on the ground, so Haga is gonna have that. Lowest level, and of course, what resides on the lowest level? The dungeon boss. What else? How many legs does it have? 2 front legs, 2 back legs? That's a fucked up design. I love it. This anime has some of the most fucked up enemy designs, and that's great. Also, is that Calvin fucking Klein logo? No, not Calvin Klein. What am I talking about? Is that Coco Chanel? Those like 2 intersecting C's. Not Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein would be like double K's. Yeah, that's Coco Chanel logo. Well, I guess one of the artists for the game got lazy and just slapped this in the middle. Then again, it's just 2 intersecting C's, so not like the height of design. Yeah, that's Akira already with her new sword. This is her with a new sword. 100% there. Cool. Cool. I really... Ugh. There we go. I really enjoyed this episode. It was a really fun one. Really, like, honestly. As I said initially, like, the perfect vertical slice, the perfect tasting platter of what this show has to offer. We have the mystery of Alba and what's his deal. We have the adventure of trudging through the dungeon. We have the drama of getting betrayed by Ren and Alba to a degree. We have the bugging that Haga is doing, and to a degree Amano as well. We have the glitching that Haga did to clip through a wall. We didn't get combat, but that's like whatever, right? But we got a nice, fun vertical slice of everything. I really wonder how are they gonna be able to wrap it up in the next episode. I really wonder. And the one and only way I can see is they regroup with Haga, right? Akira's group regroups with Haga. They go fight the Goatman. They win the fight. The fight doesn't last that long. The Goatman, since it's a dungeon boss, and you wouldn't want players to climb all the way back up, the Goatman spawns a chest with loot and a teleport that takes you out of the dungeon, right? And they take that teleport and they get teleported back at the top into the the temple. But then we still have a confrontation with Ren. We still have confrontation with Alba. We still have Nikola and Tesla to talk to about that, right? We have a lot of things that would have to happen in a single episode. Let's say illegal street racing. Let's say we take away the opening, we take away the ending, or just, show things during the ending. I still don't think that's enough. I really don't. Unless the boss gets defeated in some just completely easy and lazy way with, I don't know, Haga glitching a blast from Nikola's. Well, Nikola is not with them, so they don't even have the skull with the big blast, right? So Nikola glitching a handful of weapons straight into the skull of the boss, and then they enter the arena, and the boss wakes up and instantly takes 99999 points of damage and falls dead. Something like that. Other than that, I really don't know they can squeeze everything in a single last episode. Then again, fights in this show are not usually like super long and super elaborate, so maybe it's no Shangri-La Frontier for sure. It's not gonna be a fight with Weathermon. A fight with Weathermon in Shangri-La was like what? 4 episodes? Something like that. And they were great. Tell ya what. Yeah, I wonder where they're gonna go from here. Unless we're gonna go for a split core, essentially, right? They defeat the boss, but now they actually need to climb back or find their way back or whatever. Dun dun dun. See more in season 2 coming in 2025 or whatever. And they climb through the dungeon in that episode, make it back up at the same time. Nikola/Tesla is doing her own investigation, right? Something like that, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see next week. We'll see in the next episode. Right now, I'd say that's gonna be it from me for today, but maybe you guys, you have something more to add on the topic of this episode. Did you like it just as much as I did? Did you not? Tell me all about it in the comments below. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord if you must. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only QA Isekai, but also Isekai Shikaku, Spice and Wolf, Bye Bye Earth has finished, but what else is left? Other shows coming in the future and current. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, my seasonal streams, game streams, stuff like that, and to be notified of when the videos go up, of course. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows, and for $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through memberships, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB Without an Edze, Rene, Sam Greenwood, Yuki Ally, Dr. Wataka, Master Marsh Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to be teleported to a dungeon.